Start. All right, welcome to this orientation session on academic support here at Catholic. My name is Dr. Van Maren. I'm the Assistant Director of Academic Support here at Catholic, and we are part of the Center for Academic and Career Success, which, as you may have heard at this point, does other things like advising on career goals and things, and also academic planning and other things like this as well. Tutoring services is part of that. My role with tutoring services is to oversee the operation, but a lot of the day-to-day operations are run by our tutor coordinator, Anna Foster. And so I'll talk a little bit later, but first I'm going to hand it over to her to give you an overview of the types of tutoring services available to you and how to access them.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our virtual Academic Support Orientation Center. As Dr. Van Maren said, I'm Anna Foster, and so I work as the tutor coordinator. Before coming to Catholic, I was a high school teacher, so I am well aware of what it's like to transition into college, and I've worked with students on both ends of that. So throughout the process of adjusting to CUA and learning about academic support services, I'm always happy to help you with any questions you have about our peer tutors and what support they can offer you. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different models that are available. As you think about your biggest goals this year, whether they're academic, maybe they're social or personal, maybe you have health and wellness goals, it's important to think about how you're going to achieve those goals. So as you think about what support you need to most achieve your goal or goals this year, I think that you will find peer tutors are an important part of that process. They can provide the support you need, or one of the sources of support you need to reach your goals. I think we all know from experience that sometimes when we have a goal, if we partner with someone else in that goal, we are more committed to reaching it, not only for ourselves, but also because we are invested in the people that we are working towards that goal with. And I want to talk about how peer tutors can be that support for you. So we're academic support here, but I think that it's important to note that peer tutors provide more than academic support. They provide a connecting link to the campus and the academic environments on campus. They serve as a peer learning coach. They serve as an advocate for students, and they also serve as an ally and a trusted friend. So what are some of the benefits of peer tutoring from that connected link? It's going to help ease the transition to college life. Obviously, peer tutors provide academic support, but peer tutors also provide personal and social support. It's been proven that peers who are involved and participate with peer tutoring on campus have better relationships with peers and have experienced increased motivation as a result of those relationships. And in fact, speaking about easing the transition to college life, or if you're transferred to college life at CUA, many of our peer tutors, all of them have obviously transitioned to CUA, but many of them were also tutees themselves. They came to tutoring services to get support, and the connections that they formed there and the experiences that they had motivated many of them to want to continue that work as a tutor. So they've been in your shoes, and they can empathize with you and provide the support that they know you need to succeed at CUA. To access our peer tutors, we have several different tutoring service models available to you. The first being the Math Center. So all math tutoring happens through the Math Center, and math support is available for all the math courses at CUA, including subject-specific math coursework, such as economics, statistics, or statistics for social sciences like psychology. All Math Center tutoring is free, and happens on a drop-in basis, meaning you don't need to plan ahead of time or make an appointment with a tutor. You just need to show up to the Math Center when we're open, which is Monday through Thursday from 3 to 9 p.m. and wait for or meet with an available tutor. We also have math faculty available at the Math Center Monday through Thursday to support you as well. Math faculty are available from the hours of 3 to 5. You can find this Math Center schedule on our Math Tutoring Services webpage. The link to that is here, but it's easily accessible through the CUA Academic Support website. And embedded in the schedule, which we are still finalizing for this year, are links to the Zoom meetings for each of those tutors to support you in math. So you do want to check the schedule, particularly for, like I mentioned, we do have discipline-specific math tutoring available, but that you want to look at the schedule. For instance, currently right now we are scheduled to have discipline-specific statistic labs on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 6 p.m. But for general math help, such as help in all our calculus and pre-calculus courses, you can drop by anytime, and there are always tutors available for that for you in math. We also have drop-in subject labs. So they operate like the Math Center on a walk-in basis, meaning you do not have to do anything to prepare as far as making an appointment ahead of time. And they are also free. The drop-in subject labs are designed to support undergraduate students in historically challenging courses at CUA, and they take place on a weekly basis and typically run for 2 hours at a time. We are in the process of finalizing our subject lab schedule for tutoring services as students return to school, but that is also going to be on the website as it's finalized. The link is here. Also easy to find through the Center for Academic and Career Success website. And embedded in that schedule will also be Zoom links to join those sessions as well. Our Math Center and subject labs are scheduled to begin the second week of the semester, but I don't think I mentioned this earlier. We will have math faculty available from 3 to 5 p.m. starting the first week of school. So you can start to visit the Math Center then. But we won't be fully operational until the second week of school. And also popular, especially for incoming students, some popular subject lab offerings that we have include modern language courses, which are required for CUA students pursuing a BA typically. So many students need help with those courses. We have all of those available. We also have learning community course subject labs. So all CUA students are required to take Phil 201, Phil 202, and TRS 201, as well as English 101. English 101 is primarily supported through the Writing Center, but we do have drop-in labs available for these other subjects. And that's a great way. The learning community is designed for you to develop a close community of peers, but this is another way to meet other incoming students who are not in your learning community and develop great relationships on campus. Our next and final model of tutoring services that are not Writing Center related are individual tutoring services. So with the exception of math courses, students can request weekly one-on-one course or skills-based tutoring support for a small fee charged to the student's account. For the full semester, it's $55. If you use tutoring service appointment services, however, less than 5 times, so if you use it 1 to 4, you will be charged a prorated amount of $35 to your account. These are subsidized by the university, so although there is a fee for individual tutoring services, it is much more affordable and economical than if you were to get help outside of CUA. And there's also the added benefit that our peer tutors have been through the course on our campus, so are more familiar with the academic culture at CUA, and also with the requirements for it here. So they are really qualified for that support. To make an individual tutoring appointment, and Dr. Van Maren will walk you through this in a little bit, you just use your Cardinal Success account, so your EAB Navigate account. You just log into your account there, and then you can set up an appointment with and see available tutors. So it's really user-friendly and easy. And then they will reach back out to you. If we don't have an available tutor, we will also recruit one for you. So we'll take care of that. And then there's the Writing Center as well. So the Writing Center is actually run by Kevin Rule, who you'll meet, I'm sure, in the coming weeks. It's very popular with all students at CUA, as are all our tutoring services. You can go to the Writing Center at any stage of the writing process. As a former high school English teacher and Writing Center director myself at the secondary level, I advise you to go as soon as possible and not wait until you've procrastinated and feel like you need to go because it's due tomorrow. You don't have to have a finished product. The Writing Center isn't an editing center. So you can go throughout any stage, as it says here, of the writing process. And it's especially helpful to talk out and plan your ideas if you are stuck with a peer who can help you think through the process and get you some direction. Also, the Writing Center can help you with grammar issues, but they're also going to give you feedback on the big ideas in your paper and make sure that you're focusing on how to clearly present your ideas, and that your ideas and the content are also very developed. And then also another struggle for students is often formatting papers in the correct scholarly formats. So they can help you through that process of citations, making sure you're avoiding plagiarism, and that everything's properly formatted. So it's a great resource for, like I said, all CUA campus members. Even faculty have taken advantage of the Writing Center. So it's really targeted to provide support to everybody. So we want to show you a quick video of tutors, just explaining why they tutor, especially since you aren't with them here today. We wanted you to be able to get a sense for them.
I primarily wanted to become a peer tutor to help in those really hard STEM classes, such as organic chemistry, which at first glance can be really, really tough. It's a lot of conceptually based things. And I have had great experiences with my tutors in the past, and I wanted to kind of give the same experience to the students taking those classes at the time.
Working one-on-one with someone else. And that's really where I start to dig deeper and understand like the core behind like what I'm learning in my classes.
A senior bio pre-med major and neuroscience minor. Some of the things that have kind of led me to wanting to be a tutor, especially for science subjects, is the idea of like, you know, some people think that science can be really hard to understand, especially on the college level. And I know from experience, it can get really intimidating, and sometimes like you kind of just want to give up or even change your major. I've been through that. And it's totally, it is intimidating, but it can also be really fun and easy to learn with the right kind of help and the right kind of questions, the right kind of notes. All of those things play a major, major role. And it's not just you or the subject.
But I also don't want any of the material in these courses to serve as a barrier to someone. I don't want somebody to think that they can't be a good nurse, because organic chemistry naming is hard. And so I'm really happy that as a peer tutor, I can sort of give some of the study habits and the understanding that I've developed and share that with other students.
And I got involved in tutoring because I just enjoyed giving other people the aha moment where they finally understood something that they were struggling with.
Second semester as a peer tutor, I wanted to become a tutor because I had a really positive experience tutoring in high school. And I really enjoy working in the Math Center because I get to meet and help people from across all majors and grade levels.
I wanted to become involved in tutoring after I had a very positive experience at the tutoring center as an undergraduate. I was a frequenter of the Math Center my freshman year.
And I really like teaching statistics, especially to those people that don't necessarily consider themselves math people.
I got into tutoring because I had a really positive experience as a tutee and was encouraged to apply, and it's been a great job. I love it. I really enjoy the Math Center because you get people with very different math backgrounds, and it's very interesting to come up with creative ways to explain very different kinds of content.
My major is civil engineering. This will be my second year with the tutoring services. I work in the Math Center. I teach all levels of calc, and I am so excited to start again this year. Last year, some of my favorite things were being able to teach students from all grade levels, all different types of calc, and it was so interesting being able to adjust my teaching style for each student. And I really look forward to starting again this year.
Tutoring because I want to become a professor, actually. I love teaching, always have.
In peer tutoring because I wish to be a teacher in the future. So hopefully tutoring will give me valuable experience and knowledge in the teaching process. But beyond that, I really do enjoy the learning process for subjects that I am passionate about, such as history and politics. So
I think what motivated me to be a peer tutor this year is that I love my subject, which is French, and I'm really excited to share what I've learned and what I'm continually learning with other people.
I grew up somewhat speaking Italian, and so even though I didn't study it in high school, I decided to start studying it academically at CUA. And I recognized that my friends in class with me would ask questions sometimes, and that they really enjoyed or desired to enjoy learning the language. And I had always enjoyed learning the language myself, and I wanted to share with my friends and other people on campus, I guess, the fun that I experienced.
Tutor all Arabic subjects from level beginner to advanced. I love tutoring. Actually, I am a teacher. I have been teaching Arabic for almost 12 years. I taught Arabic in Saudi Arabia, in UK, in Michigan, and here in CUA.
I was motivated to become a tutor because I have prior experience in tutoring, but I'm also really passionate and enthusiastic, not just about German, but about learning languages in general.
I'd like to teach German to incoming freshmen.
Here, I decided to become a tutor so that I can help other students to do better at their schoolwork. And also, I think it's an opportunity for me to learn from them too.
Our tutors are a lot of fun. I know I think myself and Anna, one of the best parts that we enjoy about our work is working with these enthusiastic, caring persons who really want to help students succeed in their classes. Quick anecdote, I was interviewing a tutor last semester to work with us, and at the end of they were enthusiastic about it. I was like, yes, absolutely, we're hiring this person. And at the end they asked, is it paid? Okay, that is, they had assumed that it wasn't. It was just a volunteer thing that they wanted to do to give back. And this type of mentality is with a lot of these people. It's a chance to serve and help other students in something that they may have struggled with, but then succeeded at. And so it's really a lot of fun, and I hope that your experience with tutors will be the same. What I would like to do in the next couple of minutes is show you the different processes by which to access tutoring services. It's a little different because of all of tutoring services is virtual this year. And so I'll just walk through that process just so you know it. As I'm doing that, I'm sure there are questions coming up about a variety of things. Go ahead and put those in the chat, and then after this, we'll have some time to talk about these questions. So give me just a second as I find the right website, and then we can look at this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. You should see the tutoring services website in front of you. And as Anna very helpfully described, we have really two different models. We have, on the one hand, the Math Center and drop-in tutoring, where you just show up and somebody's there to help you. Okay. We also then have the Writing Center and individual tutoring, where you need to make an appointment. And so first, I'll show you how to access the virtual rooms that we use for the Math Center and for drop-in tutoring. Then I'll show you how to schedule an appointment. Okay. So for the Math Center and the drop-in tutoring, on the tutoring website, you access the virtual room through this. Okay. So on the right-hand side here, we have this sidebar, which includes subject drop-in labs and Math Center. Click on this. Here we see drop-down menus with the different subject areas where we have drop-in tutoring. So this one here is the languages, as you can see. These will be offered for 2-hour chunks at different times of the week. That's still being finalized as students are figuring out their schedules and things. That'll be up next week. And then the drop-in tutoring will actually be fully operational by the second week of class. So by August 31st. You can see we have the names of our tutors here, and that's all set, even as we're finalizing just a few persons. Okay, so let's just say you want French tutoring, and you want to meet with Janine, and the time is Monday 3 to 5. I don't know when it is yet. During that time, all you need to do is click on the hyperlink embedded in the course topic, okay? And that'll bring you right to a Google Meet room. Here it is. There's of course no one there because it's not happening right now. And then you simply join, and Janine, or whichever course you're taking, will be there. They'll say, "Hi, welcome." You can, exchange pleasantries and then tell them the topic that you'd like to work on, and then they will work on that with you. Okay, so it's very simple, very intuitive, free, and easy to access. And I think it's even easier to access being virtual, simply because you don't have to travel anywhere. You can just pop in for a few minutes, ask some questions, and leave as you need, or be there for longer, for sure. So that's the way all of these will work. Go ahead and look through it. We'll have the schedule up again by the second week of class, so August 31st, and all of that will be up and running for you. The Math Center is basically the same. That is, it will be fully operational by August 31st. But the one difference, and we don't have the hyperlinks in here yet, but all of that will be included in the courses covered right here. So you'll, depending on the course or cluster of courses, you'll select the right link and you'll access a tutor immediately. Okay, very, very easy. It worked well for us in the second half of the spring semester when we had to make a quick transition to virtual, and we've sort of tweaked it a bit, and I think it will work really well this semester as well. The one thing with the Math Center, though, is that during the first week of class, so starting Monday, there will be math faculty available for you to meet. And if you look at the top of the page here, I've included a little note just for the first week with a virtual room where you can meet with one of 2 different math faculty. Again, same thing, click on it, there's the meeting, join, you can get help from an expert. Okay, that's pretty, I think, self-explanatory. The other way of accessing tutoring services is to book an appointment for either the individual tutoring or for the Writing Center. And similarly, this can be done through the tutoring services website. The tutoring services website has links to Cardinal Success, which I imagine you all have access to at this point and have explored a little bit. And so if you, here is our little icon to make an appointment. Simply click on the Cardinal Success button. This will bring you into your student account. And this is just an example of a student account. You'll of course need to log in. But once you get here, you will see on the right-hand side of your screen this big blue, hard to miss, Get Assistance button. Click on that. And then it'll walk you through a number of choices to select the right service. Okay. So here are your options. For tutoring, it's always going to be academic support. And we also do it, or CACS also does advising, but I think you have sessions about that as well. And then once you've selected that, you can choose the type of academic support you want. Okay, there are 4 here. Of these 4, 3 of them we're talking about today. Grants and fellowships is a different thing, worth knowing about as well, and I think some of you will get that at different times during orientation, but we're interested in the other 3. Okay, the course-based tutoring is help with specific courses, and so you select that. Of course, select course-based tutoring. Let's move along, and then this is a little bit tricky because of our the remote nature of tutoring services right now. For the location, you'll select Mullen Library, even though you're not meeting in the library. You're going to meet virtually. We are working to get a virtual location included here. So if it shows up, select it. If it doesn't, just do Mullen Library. It'll work fine. Okay, so we go there. And then you'll select your course. This is not a real student, and so it's a test course, but this is how it goes. You'd select. It will list the courses that you're taking this semester. All of that's embedded in here. And then you come here, and then what you'll see here, but you don't see it now because the tutor schedules aren't included in the system yet, but you'll see different times when you are able, when there are tutors who are qualified for your course available. So let's say you're doing philosophy 201 and there's tutoring available Tuesday morning. You would click that, and we can't do that right now. And then if there's more than one tutor available, you can select the tutor by name. So if you know a tutor who you've had a good experience with in the past, you can then do it, you can select them because you work well together. Okay. And then what happens at that point is they get an email saying a student has requested tutoring. They will then respond to it, confirm the time, make a few suggestions of what you can do before you meet, and share a virtual meeting location with you. And then at the time that you selected, you'll both meet there and work together on whatever the subject is. Okay, so that's the basic approach. For the Writing Center, it's the same thing, where rather than course-based tutoring, of course, you select the Writing Center. And just for the sake of them knowing what's going on and to put you with the most qualified person, you can focus on these different types of work. Of course, some of them are relevant to you, some of them aren't at this point. So and then I also do want to point out that we also do skills-based tutoring. So apart from a course, you just want help on time management. Well, we have tutors trained in that who can help you. And so you do this and other things as well. Okay. Skills-based tutoring, like course-based tutoring, has the same fee structure. So $55 for the full semester, or $35 for 4 or less meetings. We try to make the fee structure work for long-term tutoring. Okay, so individual tutoring works really well when students make use of it early and then often and then regularly. Okay. That is, one thing you see in tutoring services is an uptick in usage right before midterms and then right before the final exam. That's normal and expected, but it's also not the best way to use tutoring services. That is, start early, get the help you need, and then when the rush comes right before the midterms, you don't need to go because you're prepared and you're going to knock out the midterm anyway. Okay. And so that's really the way to use it. As long as we're on that note, I think it's also worth noting that we have students across the spectrum of in terms of their grade point average, their abilities, their interests, who are using tutoring services. As you saw from the video of tutor profiles, is that a lot of them first went to tutoring services, found it helpful, and then wanted to become a tutor. And so we have students of all abilities who are using these. I have a student who is a language whiz and is fluent in 4 languages, working on a 5th, and she uses the drop-in language tutoring services just about more than anyone. Why? Because it's free help to practice languages, and that's only going to benefit you. Okay. Okay. Just a couple quick notes about the Writing Center, and then we'll open it up for some questions. The Writing Center provides both synchronous help, that is meeting in person with a Writing Center tutor and sharing a Google Doc of your writing with them and talking through it as you work through it. They also offer asynchronous help. That is, you provide them a paper, they give you a deadline of when they'll get it back to you, usually pretty quickly, and they provide feedback to you. So two models there. Obviously, the synchronous model requires an appointment. The asynchronous model doesn't. The logistics of that are still being worked out, but both will be available to you. And as Anna said, for the Writing Center, the focus when you go there, you'll bring up a particular writing assignment, but the focus is to make you a better writer. Okay, and that is they will use the writing assignment you're working on to help you practice best practices in developing a good paper from start to finish. But they're not going to help you with the paper itself. They're not going to rewrite it for you, but they will give you the tools you need to then improve it, including specific suggestions on your paper. That is, by making you a better writer, then your paper will improve too, and it will only benefit you in the long run. I think that's where I'm going to stop. And Anna, if I missed anything, point it out, let me know. Otherwise, why don't we open it up for questions or clarifications that that would be helpful. So if you want to type questions in the chat, go ahead. Also, if you just want to turn your mic on and ask a question that way as well, that's great as well. The floor is open. I'm seeing a question about tutor compensation. Yes, tutors are paid. They are paid as students. You need sophomore status to be a tutor. Okay. And related to that, we have a structure where if somebody wants to tutor with us, we ask that they get a recommendation from a faculty member, and they need to have an A- grade or better in the courses that they're going to tutor for. Okay. And so this is to ensure quality of tutoring. And then they also go through about 10 hours of professional development in order to really be able to be as effective as they can for all different types of learning styles. Yes, tutoring will be available to you. It's available to all students, whether you are resident on campus or whether you're remote. And this goes for second, third, fourth year students and graduate students as well. That's one of the nice things about being virtual. Yes. What other questions do you have? A good point. Anna's clarifying in the chat that it's not available during holidays. Yeah. Anna and I are always available to answer your questions. You can access our contact information on the Tutoring Services website, and we're happy to respond, and we can respond quickly. I think on a last note, I would just like to emphasize that this is a really good resource for you. It's highly subsidized by the university and in many cases free. And it's something that can help you no matter where you're at. Okay. Think of any book you've published. If you look at the acknowledgement section, at least one paragraph is provided to thank all the people who provided feedback on that writing. Okay. And those are excellent writers. They're writing published books. Some of you will do that eventually, but if they need it, I need it, you need it. Everybody needs somebody else to look at their writing. Just make use of it. Same for other sources as well. Tutoring is a service that can help you no matter what your situation is, and so do please make use of it. Anything else from you, Anna?
No, sorry, that about covered it, but it was so nice to have the opportunity to meet with you guys today, and please reach out soon, and we hope to see you soon, virtually, for now.
Yes, hopefully in person in time, but yes, thank you so much, and again, write with any questions or comments.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy the rest of orientation.